along with foie gras and monkey brain. It is listed as one of the world's cruelest dishes. Today, we'll dive deep into the world of ortolan, a French delicacy that's as cruel in its preparation as it is exquisite in taste. We'll explore its history, the controversial methods of its preparation, and the debate surrounding its consumption. If you find this video interesting, please support us by hitting the like button. Now, let's get started. There are many cruel and bizarre dishes in the world created by human desire. Take, for instance, cow ya jang. Live ducks are placed on a seasoned griddle over a fire. As they jump from the heat, only their legs are eventually cut off for consumption. Another example is the monkey brain dish, where a live monkey's skull is cracked open, while it's tied to a table, and its brain is consumed fresh. To ensure freshness, meaning to consume the brains while the monkey was still alive, they gave the monkey a drum and a fan. The brains were consumed as long as the monkey, in extreme pain, continued to beat the drum. French foie gras, celebrated as one of the world's top delicacies, also faces significant opposition due to the cruel methods of its production. In the past, foie gras was prepared with migratory birds that ate a lot of food and accumulated in their livers to store energy to spend the winter season. However, as demand increased, the tame geese and ducks were fed in a cruel way by inserting metal tubes down their throats and forcing large amounts of food down their throats. And when their livers became bloated, their throats were finally slit while still alive. The livers, which had become 10 times larger than normal, were prized for their melt-in-your-mouth texture upon heating. However, it has already been banned in many countries because of its cruelty. Ortolans, tiny migratory birds weighing less than an ounce, were caught and prepared in France using particularly cruel methods. But no matter how brutal the process, the taste is so delicious that it has become a favorite of many gourmets. So how exactly did they cook it? The first step is fattening. At this point, the bird is not force-fed using tools like foie gras, but it is placed in a box that shields it from light, blinding it to disrupt its internal clock. Ortolans have an instinct to feed at night in the dark, so they are confined in boxes or blinded so that the ortolans can continue to feed at all times. Thus, for a period of 21 days to a month, the ortolan will simply continue to eat in the dark. Over time, they grow so fat that they cannot even move, and their size increases to more than 4 times their normal size. But this is not the end. A more painful fate awaits the ortolan that has been preoccupied with eating for about a month. The bloated ortolan is dipped alive in Armagnac, one of the world's 3 most famous brandies. It is said that Armagnac soaks into every nook and cranny of the ortolan's lungs and internal organs, as it drowns, and that even after death, the meat is left to rest for a while so that the Armagnac's aroma and flavor can blend with the meat and enhance its flavor. Finally, the ortolan is removed from the Armagnac. The wings are removed, and the meat is roasted in the oven for 6 to 8 minutes. The ortolan dish, often described as encapsulating the spirit of France, was revered as a singular French delicacy and even dubbed the food of the gods. There is a special way to eat ortolan. First, take a bite of the body part from the legs, chewing slowly and savoring it well. In some cases, the legs are eaten first, allowing the juices to flow, and then the body is eaten. The meat and entrails are chewed slowly while the large bones are removed. The moment the bones are chewed, the aroma and taste of Armagnac in the mouth combine with the tender entrails, and that is the culmination of the dish, according to the chef. The New York Times describes the initial taste of the dish as reminiscent of hazelnuts. But as one continues to eat, a myriad of flavors unfolds, especially when reaching the bones and meat. The whole-baked ortolan is said to be especially delicious, with its golden crispy beak and tiny head that contains the brain. The late American chef Anthony Bourdain described the ortolan dish as a transcendent experience. You bite into the ortolan slowly with your back teeth, hearing a distinct crunch. The rich flavors of charred fat and offal cascade down your throat. As you continue to chew, the interplay of bone, meat, skin, and offal intensifies, creating an unparalleled taste sensation. He described the taste as an intertwined mixture of fig, Armagnac, and a hint of blood seeping from a wound cut by a sharp bone. In fact, Ortolan cuisine became famous in the West, partly because of its unique way of eating. Diners cover their heads with a white cloth while eating the meal, lending an eerie aura to the dining experience. Some say this is done out of guilt, as if committing a sin, fearing divine retribution for enjoying such a cruel dish. Others believe it's to maximize the enjoyment of the dish, which is consumed in just 2 or 3 bites, and to discreetly discard the bones. Ortolan cuisine has existed for a long time. The origins of this dish can be traced back to either ancient Rome or ancient Egypt. Even back then, it was not something that could be eaten with impunity, and was mainly eaten in secret by gourmets. Later, it was introduced to France, where it was adopted as a court dish and eaten at royal banquets. Emperor Napoleon III, who led France's Second Empire, Alexandre Dumas, the 19th-century French playwright known for The Three Musketeers Monte Cristo, and Francois Mitterrand, the 21st president of France, were also fond of Ortolan cuisine. Shortly before his death from terminal cancer in 1996, French President Mitterrand chose ortolan as his last supper, ordering 2 plates. Ortolans, often hailed as a taste embodying the French spirit, were caught indiscriminately during the 1970s and 1980s due to their rising popularity. This overharvesting led to a sharp decline in their numbers, culminating in their designation as a protected species in 1999. France banned the consumption of ortolans in 1979. This led to a flood of criticism from President Mitterrand, who ate ortolan as his last supper. In fact, although ortolan was banned, it was not strictly enforced. And since it had been widely consumed for more than 20 years, it remained a popular dish. In fact, even after being declared a protected species, the ortolan population continued to decline. Finally, in 2007, France began to tighten regulations. It imposed a fine of up to €6,000 for anyone who caught, cooked, or ate ortolans. However, there are still people who eat ortolans in hiding, and more than 30,000 ortolans are traded illegally each year for about €150 each. In 2014, a coalition of gourmets, ortolan enthusiasts, and chefs from traditional French restaurants rallied to legalize ortolan cuisine. They argued that the cuisine is a cherished tradition that should not be lost and proposed serving ortolan in their restaurants for 1 week out of the year. In fact, some argue that the ortolan population is not so small as to be banned. There are currently 300,000 ortolans in Europe, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature's criterion. 3.1, ortolans are categorized under the lowest risk level for extinction. Furthermore, captive or bred ortolans have been released into the wild, and since 2010, the population has increased again, as global preferences shift towards foods that are less harmful to the environment and animals. It's imperative to explore more humane methods. A case in point is a French company that has innovated a method to produce foie gras without resorting to forced feeding. This concludes our exploration of ortolan, a dish born of human desire. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.